Many women complain to me that their husband doesn't hear them. Here's one solid reason why. This is going to blow your mind. According to author John Gottman, the likelihood that both the husband and the wife are available to connect and communicate at the same time is 9%. Yeah, you heard that right. 9%. So this means that 91% of the time, a husband and a wife are not in the same place to connect and communicate at the same time. It's no wonder we don't feel heard. How crazy is that? And this happens because we're doing life, because we're busy doing something, like we're cooking or we're cleaning or we're watching TV or on our phone or taking care of the kids. We're busy doing things. And so our brains are focused. And then it could also just be thinking. We might not actually be doing something, but we're thinking about something. And so when our spouse comes to talk to us, it's like an interruption, and we're not prepared, just sitting there waiting for them to come and talk to us. That would be really unusual if that were the case, right? So it's just life. It's just how life works. So the question is, how do we get around this problem? Well, I have a couple of suggestions for you. One is, if you want to talk to your husband, if you've got something that you want to share with him or ask him about, you could say something like, do you have a minute to talk about XYZ? Or would now be a good time to talk about XYZ? That at least gives like a little bit of a leeway and gives them a hint that you want to say something that you feel is important. And then on the flip side of that, when our husband comes to talk to us, I like to try to stop what I'm doing and make eye contact when he starts talking to me, just so that he can see, like, okay, I'm here, I'm present. Or if it happens to be a moment where I really can't break away from what I'm doing, I'll just let him know, just give me 1 minute to wrap this up and I'll be right with you. So that we're being much more purposeful, but I never try to like listen to him or understand him when I'm in the middle of doing something, because I'm not going to get the whole picture of what he's saying. And this is so important, because as husband and wife, what we want so much, and what wives tell me, is that we want to connect. And so in order to do that, we've got to try and get around this 9% rule here. And so those are a couple of things that you can do just on a daily basis. But then I also love to recommend weekly marriage meetings. So this is a time where you would set aside 30 minutes a week to talk specifically and intentionally about what is going on in both of your lives. And there is an author, Marcia Naomi Burge, and she wrote a book called Marriage Meetings for Lasting Love. And she gives a simple, doable 4-step process for having a marriage meeting that is so intentional and loving. And so just to briefly tell you, the 4 parts to the meeting are to first express appreciation for each other. And then you spend time coordinating the chores, who's going to do what and when. And then you plan for good times, like you plan your dates, you plan your time with family and friends, you plan individual time for each of you that you would need to have alone. And then the 4th step is where you would discuss problems and challenges. So maybe there's something that's been irritating you. Now that you've had all of this goodwill, now you can say, hey, there's something that my challenge that I've been wanting to talk to you about is this. And so by doing this conversation in this order, you're softening both of your hearts and your minds to be able to be more open to hearing something that needs to be worked on. And so this gives you a really productive way to do that. And the author also recommends that then the next thing you would do after that 4th step of talking about your problems and challenges would be to do something enjoyable. And it could be together or apart, but so the meeting can end on a good note. It's like, okay, well, like, let's go have some dessert now, or let's go out and take a walk now, or something like that. And I think that's a really good tip, so that we're not leaving the meeting on necessarily a negative note. And so there's a lot more detail in the book. It's called Marriage Meetings, and I would definitely recommend that you look it up and see how it can help you communicate better. And I hope your mind was blown away, just like mine was, with that 9% availability thing. That's just so crazy, and it makes so much sense. And so it's just a little bit of intentionality on our part. We can improve the communication and connection in our marriage. If you want help working on this with a coach, I would love to help you. Just reach out to me, send me an email or comment on this post or send me a direct message. Any of those ways will work. I'll be happy to help you. Have a great day.